Good morning, everybody. So we will start off with our safety disclaimer here. These classes and what I say are not medical advice. Please consult with your healthcare professionals before making changes to manage your health. This presentation does not represent Parkinson Canada's endorsement of products or treatment related to Parkinson disease. This presentation is meant to provide general information. If you have specific questions about managing Parkinson disease for yourself or for others, please contact info@parkinson.ca or you can call 1-800-565-3000. Well, good morning, everybody. This is your at-home workout class number 51, brought to you by Parkinson Canada. My name is Lance Letain. I am the events coordinator here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And if you're new to this class, welcome. It's great to have you on board. If you're a veteran of these classes, I want to thank you for your patronage. These live classes are brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday, and the time is at 8 a.m. Central Time. That's 9 a.m. Eastern, and that's 7 a.m. in Saskatchewan and Alberta, and of course at 6 o'clock in the morning in beautiful British Columbia. I can't forget our friends on the East Coast, Ryan and the gang in Halifax. This is, I guess it'd be 10 o'clock in the morning for you guys. So great to have you on board. These classes are part of the Parkinson Canada movement. So the Parkinson Canada Super Walk movement is a monthly program designed to help you achieve in attaining 150 minutes of exercise per week. So we had the month of May, it was the predictive walk. Month of June, it was your chance to dance. July, which we just finished, of course, were these live classes. This month of August is the 100,000 step challenge. And next month we are looking at September. That is the Super Walk itself. The Parkinson Canada Super Walk this year is a virtual Super Walk, and it's held on Saturday, September the 12th. What I mean by a virtual Super Walk is that we're encouraging you to be walking in your community, in your neighborhood, with family and friends. Given the current health pandemic that we're living through here, it doesn't make sense for us to be having our large collective gathering, because we just can't. It's that simple. So yes, we're keeping things small, keeping it walking in your neighborhood with family and friends. You can find the recordings of these classes. You'll find them on either the Parkinson Canada Manitoba Facebook group page. Again, that's the Parkinson Canada Manitoba Facebook group page. Recordings get posted right after the classes, the live broadcasts are done. And of course, you can also find these classes on the Parkinson Canada YouTube channel. Okay, a few quick shout outs here before we get going. Shout out to Shirley, Barbara, Sylvie, Victoria, Audrey, Susan, Pete, Valerie, Holly, Dave, Carolyn, Elizabeth, Mike, DeKelma, Joe Vancouverden. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Carolyn, Nathan, Ginny, Betty and Rick, Jean and Dawn, Teresa, Marilyn, Paul, Mary, Robert, Judy, Irene, Gary, Blair, Dawn, and Doug. There we go. Those are our shoutouts for today. So I just wanted to talk briefly about some of the benefits of exercise, and just I was thinking about the automaticity. So when you have Parkinson disease, the signals aren't being sent as clearly as we would like them to have sent from between our muscles and our brain, and then our brain back to our muscles. So it's that lack of dopamine that is the issue. So what we're trying to do is have our muscles create that memory, and to get used to just moving at a regular interval. And instead of, when you're walking and you get the Parkinson shuffle, so you start off strong, which is awesome, but then you slowly start to take smaller steps, and it almost turns into a shuffle. So there is ways that we can help that with exercise. So a nice regular walking, but I would encourage you to either walk with a partner that can kind of encourage you to keep up with your pace, which is going to help you think about your stride length. thinking about the having a proper gait. It's a lot more fun to be with a partner as well. Another thing that you can do is either you can listen to music. If you have, chances are your grandkids know how to download music onto an iPod or onto your phone for you, and they can find songs that keep track of beats per minute. So you're going to want to try and keep up with the beat of the music. So that's a great thing that you could be doing to try and combat the Parkinson shuffle. Or else you can download a metronome. So it's the constant tick, 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 tick. And that will get you thinking about your pace, thinking about your gait, and again, it's going to get us away from that Parkinson shuffle. All right, so I might get rained on today. It's okay. We're going to work through this. A little bit of a windy day. I'm going to lose my glasses. I'm going to back up. Oh yes, before I get going today, you will need some hand weights. I have some Italian tomatoes, and I've got some green tomatillos from Mexico. So yes, you will need some sort of hand weights today to get through our strength training component. I'm backing up my chair. I think I got to adjust my camera just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so you know how we start off our class. We start off our class the same way every single day. I'm just going to adjust the camera one bit at a time. There we go. So I want you to think about your posture. If you're sitting down, I want you to sit up nice and straight. We're going to pull our shoulders back, put a smile on our face, closing our eyes. I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. A big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Keeping your eyes closed, just focusing on the here, focusing on the now. This is time for you. Opening our eyes. We're going to continue with our breathing. We're going to raise our hands above our head. Big breath in. And out. Big breath in. And out. Okay, this is going to be our biggest breath of the day. Big, big breath in. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And breathe it out. Already I'm starting to feel better. Good. Okay, you know what we do next. We are doing our slap, clap, and snap. So we are slapping our thighs 5 times, clapping our hands 5 times, and snapping our fingers 5 times. So we're going to go from 5 down to 1, and then work our way back to 5. Ready, gang? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, okay, so our warm-up is we're cueing in our brain to be able to follow along. You're also warming up our body, slowly building up our heart rate. So from here, I want to pick some apples. It's apple season here in Manitoba, so there's lots of apples to pick. We're going to pick up an apple, pull it down, put it down in our basket. Chop it across and down. Last night I got home from coaching soccer. My wife was outside and she was picking apples. She's going to be making some fruit leather this year. Up and across. And down. Up and across. And down. If it hurts too much to raise your hands high, you You can simply just put your hands out in front of you like this. That works for me too. Across and down. Across and down. Okay, one more time each side and down. Across and down. Okay, we're going to do some stationary heel taps. Again, thinking of your posture. Let's always think of our posture. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Oh yes, middle of August. We are looking at less than a month now from the Parkinson Canada Super Walk. So if you haven't yet registered, now would be a great time to do it. If you're looking to join a team, let's switch our feet. If you're looking to join a team, it's easy. You can just go to www.superwalk.ca, and on the website you'll see that when it comes time to register, you can look for a team and you can just register on the team. The website this year is much more easy to navigate your way through, be able to find tools, be able to find people, to be able to find help that you're needing. To help get started, collecting pledges, and learning how to celebrate, plan, and promote the big Super Walk event this year. Okay, tapping our toes. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Changing feet. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Feeling ready to move on? Alright, so from here we're actually going to go into some waving. Let's do some waving. Waving with one hand. Again, thinking of our posture and back. Waving with the other hand. And back. One more time, each side, waving. And back. Last one, waving. And back. Okay, now we're just going to do some high knees, just nice and slow. And down. Up. And down. Again, great time to warm up our body and our mind, and also a good time to evaluate. See how you are feeling. Are you feeling up to doing the class right now? If so, that's great. And if not, it's okay. You don't have to do the class right now. These classes are all recorded, so you can come back to them when you're feeling a little more alert, feeling a little more energized, and ready to follow along. Up and up, up and up. Okay, so that's it for our warm-up. We are going to transition into our cardio section of the class here. So it's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes of continuous movement is ideally what we're looking for. If you get lost along the way, it doesn't matter what you're doing, just try and keep on moving. So, and we're going to try and keep our heart rate up and our breathing rate up. That's where the magic is going to happen when we are doing our cardio section here. So again, let's think of our posture, sitting up nice and straight. I want to put a heel out and back, out and back. Heel tap and back, tap and back. So if you are new to this class, don't be afraid to give a little shout out to me. You can either comment during the class here directly. You can send me a private message if you feel more comfortable doing that. Or if it's a recorded class, you can also give us a shout out. I make sure I work pretty hard at trying to get back to everybody. If you have any questions related to exercise and living with Parkinson's disease, I will try and get back to you ASAP, give you the correct answer, the safest answer, to be able to guide you into safe exercises that are going to help you manage your Parkinson's disease. Of course, taking your medication regularly is one of the best things that you can be doing. Taking them, at the same time daily, so you get to understand your on times and your off times. It's good for you. It's good for your care partner too, so that they're able to predict what's going on. Okay, so we're going to pick up the pace a little bit here. So tap and tap, tap and tap. Okay, so this is the beginning of the roller coaster. We're going to start picking things up. We're going to go a little bit fast, then we're going to bring it down a little bit, then we're going to bring it up again. So we're looking for that 15 to 20 minutes of continuous movement here. Tap and tap, tap. And how about we add some straight arms? We're going to go straight out and out, out and out. The more muscle groups we have moving, the better it is. And tap, tap, and tap, tap, and tap. So we're going to pick up a little bit faster here. Here we go. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No arms, just our legs. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. So we're going to try a little bit faster here. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. All right, so we got this going down. How about we add some bicep curls into this? Here we go. Tap and tap, tap and tap. If it's too hard for you to find the coordination to move your upper body with your lower body, you can just tap your feet or just move your arms. Whatever's best for you works for me. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No arms, just our legs. All right. We got a good pace going on here. You probably feel your heart pounding a little bit harder, a little bit faster. Your breathing rate should be changing too. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. Tap and tap, tap and tap. All right, so we're on that roller coaster, bringing it down just a little bit here. All right, so let's add some arms. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. So we're gonna work our way up to 4 times on one side and 4 times on the other. So we're gonna go 2 times on one side and 3 times and 4 times and back to alternating on ones. Ready, gang? So we're gonna do 2 times on one side. Here we go. 1 and 2, change it up. 1 and 2. 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 Now we're doing 3. 1, 2, 3. Change it here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're doing 4. 1, 2, 3, and 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 4. Now we're doing 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Change it here. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and now we're doing 2. 1 and 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 2. 1, and now we're going to alternate. 1 and tap. Tap. And no arms. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. We're going to try that, working our way back up to 4 again, except we're not going to use our arms, but we are going to go a little bit faster here. Ready, gang? We're going to work our 2 times per side, 3 times per side, 4 times a side, and all the way back to alternating. Here we go. 1 and 2. 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 Now we're doing 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're doing 4. 1, 2, 3, and 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 4. Now we're doing 3. 1, 2, and 3. Think of your posture. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Good job. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're doing 2. 1 and 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 2. Now let's alternate. 1 foot and the next. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap. All right. So that was a good little session there, gang. You should be breathing harder. Heart should be pounding a little bit harder and faster. So let's going to slow it down. Tap and tap. All right. So from here, from our heel taps, we are going to slowly transition into some side stepping. And then after side stepping, we're going to do and finish things off with our marching. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. So now, instead of our feet, our heels going out to the front, we're going to put our toes to the side. It's going to look like this. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. All right, there you go. And tap. So we are still using our major muscle groups in our legs, using our glutes, so our butt, using our hamstrings, and our quadriceps and our calves here, but in a different motion. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Shall we add some arms? There we go. Side arms, if you can. Bring your hands up to shoulder height. Tap and tap. If you find this too hard to coordinate the arms and the legs, that's all right. We'll get it eventually. It takes time. It takes practice. You can do just the arms, or you can do just the legs. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Now we're going to do one arm and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Okay, other arm and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Okay, all right. I just felt a raindrop. Hopefully that's all I got to deal with until this class is done. Both arms and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. March it out. Okay, so we have 5 more minutes to go here. We're going to go for a nice little march. Then we're going to pick it up to a medium jog. Then we're going to run for a little bit. And then we're going to bring it back down. March, 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 march. March, march. March, march. March, march, march and march. March, march. March, march. Okay. So, we are going to pick it up just a little bit. Here we go. March, march, march and march. March, march. March, march. March, march, march and march. March, march. March, march. Keep it going. So yes, the other day I went over to a friend of mine. I'd like to call her a friend. Her name is Janice Horn. Janice Horn has started up this program with Superwalk. It's called Superwalk Rocks. So what Janice does on this video that's going to be posted, she shows you how to use rocks. You paint the rocks and then you hide them. So a person could be walking and they'll find this painted rock. It could be a ladybug. It could be a turtle shell. It could be anything. It could be just a nice design. It could be some fish. Well, you find this rock when you're walking. Wow, this is beautiful. You turn the rock over and there's an inspirational message talking about Parkinson disease and what you can do to get involved with raising some funds for Parkinson Canada. But more often than not, the messages are inspirational. They're meant to make you feel good. So we hope to have people painting rocks right across Canada from coast to coast to coast, going out before September the 12th, hiding the rocks that you've painted for others to find, learning about Superwalk, learning something about Parkinson's disease, more importantly, inspiring somebody. So there's going to be this beautiful video that Janice has done for us, taking you along all the steps of how to prepare your rocks, where to find your rocks, how to prepare your rocks for painting, what paints to choose, some simple designs that you can do. It's just awesome. Janice has been doing this for a few years, and it's turned out to be a real hit here at the Winnipeg, Parkinson Canada, Winnipeg Superwalk. It's always a hot table for people to go see. They find these rocks, they take them, and they go hide them. So this could be an activity that you'd like to do. You could do it with people on your team, your Superwalk team, your family members, friends, or just for yourself. Nice to be able to express yourself creatively. March, 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 and march. So that video will be coming out soon. March, 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 march. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. Okay, it's a pretty good pace. Shall we slow it down just a little bit? We're going to do some wides and narrows. Let's slow it down. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. Okay, so when I say wide, wide, narrow, narrow, it's going to look like this. We're going to go wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, 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 narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, 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 narrow. Wide, 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 wide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. March it out. Okay, gang, one more minute. Let's go for a little bit of a run before we slow things down in our cardio cool down. March, march, march in, march. March, 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 march. March, march, march in, march. March, 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 march. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. No arms, just our legs. Let's transition to some heel taps and back, tap, and back. Slow it down, tap, and back, tap, and back. All right, so we just did 20 minutes of cardiovascular exercise there. So now it's time for us to slow down our heart rate, bring our breathing rate back to normal. The older we get, the harder it gets to slow things down and to speed things up. So we have to make sure that we're spending time on the warm-up, spending time on the cool down. Really important when we're doing our cardio cool down that you keep your head held up high. You want it above the level of your heart here. Tap and back, tap and back, tap and back, tap and back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to swim it out. So front crawl to begin with. Bring your arms over and around. One arm over and around. If you have shoulder pain that you're living with, we don't like pain. Soreness is different than pain. So if you have one shoulder that's very painful, you don't have to have a full big round stroke like this. You can just go to the side like this if that works for you. Or you can just do the one arm that's feeling really good over and over again. So you swimmers, you know this as the freestyle. When I was teaching swimming lessons, we call this the front crawl and stroke. Stroke and stroke. Okay, we're going to go backwards now. So back crawl. Again, if you don't have full range of motion in one shoulder, that's okay. You can make a modification. Just bring your arm to the side like this. You don't have to have it all the way around. We do not like pain. And last one, each arm here. We're going to transition into the breaststroke. So we're going to bring our arms down like this, together and out. It's called the breaststroke. Bring your arms back, together and out. Together and out. Last one. Here we go. Last one. Okay, from here let's do our stationary heel taps. So our heart rate should be coming down. Feeling good. You have all that oxygenated blood that was going to all our large muscles that were doing all the work. It's going to our brain. It's going to our hands and our fingers. Going to our toes. One of the great things of exercise, it really does help with your circulation of your blood. Getting it to all the different parts of your body. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Changing feet. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Now we're doing our toe. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Other foot. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so from here we're going to do our last cardio cool down. We're raising our hands, shoulder height, and down. Same of our posture. down, shoulders back, and back. Let's put some smiles on our faces, and back, and back, and back. All right, so we just finished our cardio cool down. If you need to have a sip of water, now would be a great time to grab a sip of water. Just make sure you're putting your water bottle away safely, so it's not going to be a tripping hazard for you when we are doing our strength training. Yes, that was awesome. We just rocked out 24 minutes of cardio along with our cardio cool down. So we are building up our endurance. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good about all that. If you have any sort of feedback, like how are you feeling with these classes, I'd love to hear from you, and you know that I will get back to you. Okay, so we are going to do our strength training now, and unfortunately we're going to do the hard stuff first. Or fortunately, depends how you look at it. So you know that the hardest thing that we're going to be doing is our sit to stands. This can be done three different ways. I'm going to give you a profile shot here, just so I'm showing you the proper technique of what we're doing. You're going to have your feet wider than your shoulders. So you're going to have a nice solid foundation beneath you. You're going to see that I'm going to stand up nice and straight. And when I'm sitting down, this is the hard part. You got to shoot your butt out and back. So that's one way that we can do it. If you can only stand up an inch, by all means, I think that's fantastic. That's hard. That's probably the hardest part of doing the sit to stands, is the initial part. You're thinking of transferring yourself from a chair onto a toilet, or from a chair into your bed, or a chair into a bath. You just need to get up that much. So it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be standing up just a little bit and down. Even that is really, really hard. So those are two ways that you can do it. If you prefer, you can also do a squat. And for a squat, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to hang on to a chair. I'm going to keep my feet nice and wide. It's going to be the same motion. I'm going down. See how I'm shooting my butt out to the back? And up. So all those three of those motions, that's working these muscles here. These are our quadricep muscles. And these are quite often the muscles that are associated with falls. So our muscles aren't talking clearly to our brain, and our brain sending the signals back to our muscles. They're not firing properly, so that's when we're going to get a lot of falls happen. So it's really important that we keep these muscles really nice and strong, keeping them really active. This is why I like to try and do this almost every single class. So you know that we are going to do 2 sets, and we're going to do 6 repetitions in each set. So here we go. I'm going to do a full sit to stand. You do whatever's best for you. Up. That's 1. There's 2. Again, shooting your butt back. There's 3. Thinking of your posture. 4. These are hard, gang. Here's 5. And 6. Woo! Yes, sirree. You definitely feel it in your quadriceps there. If you're only able to do 1, that's all right. That's all you can do. If you're able to do 3, good. If you're able to do 6, that's fantastic too. You find, I need you to challenge yourself, but within reason. I don't want there to be any sort of situation where you could be falling, or it's going to be a painful experience for you. Again, pain and soreness are different. We're going to do our last set of 6 repetitions here. Here, I'm going to do mini sit to stands. Everybody else, you can do whatever's best for you. Here, away you go. Up and down. Up and down. That's 2. Here's 3. Halfway there. And down. Here's 4. And 5. Last one coming up. Here's 6. Woohoo! Man, oh man, yes, I feel that in my quadriceps. Okay, so from here we are going to do some knee raises and extensions. This can be done from a seated or a standing position. I'm going to demonstrate sitting down, but I'm going to do them standing up. from a seated position, of course, you're thinking of your posture, sitting up nice and straight. You're going to raise your knee up, take your toe out, go back, put our foot down. So that's what it looks like from a seated position. We are going to do it 4 times per leg, then we're going to change it up. From a standing position, I'm going to demonstrate. I'm hanging onto a chair here just for a little bit of extra stability. Bring my knee up, out, back, and down. All right, so we're doing 4 on one leg, switching it up, doing 4 on the other leg. Here we go. Up, out, back, and down. That's 1. Here's 2. Out, back, and down. Up, out, back, and down. 1 more. Up, out, back, and down. Changing our legs. So if you're standing, you're also working on your balance here, which is a good thing. And go up, out, back, and down. That's 1. Here's 2. Out, back, and down. Now 3. Up, out, back, and down. Last 1. Up, out, back, and down. Changing our legs. Here we go. Up, out, back, and down. That's 1. Here's 2. Out, back, and down. Up, out, back, and down. Changing our legs. Up, out, back, and down. That's 1. Here's 2. Out, back, and down. Here's 3. Up, out, back, and down. Last 1. Up, out, back, and down. All right. So from here, we are going to grab our hand weights. If you have hand weights, by all means, you can use that. Like I said, I'm using some Mexican tomatoes. I'm using some Italian tomatoes today. If you have TheraBands or surgical tubing, you can use that too. We have demonstrated before how to use them best in the past. So we are going to do some chest presses to begin with. And then after our chest presses, we are going to do some chair crunches. We're going to work on our abdominal core. So let's think of our posture, sitting up nice and straight. I'm going to have, if you have hand weights, you can use them. If you have nothing, that's okay. You don't need these things. We're going to do everything nice and slow, very purposeful, and that can be a workout just in itself, working against gravity. So sitting up nice and straight, shoulders are back. I'm going to have my hand weights in front of me. I'm going to bring my arms back to a 90-degree angle. So it's going to look like this. I'll bring it back together. We're going to do 6. Here we go. Back and out. That's 1. Here's 2. And 3. 4. 5. And 6. Got a pesky mosquito bothering me. Okay, I'm going to rest just a little bit. You can shake it out. So another way that you can do this is called wall push-ups. So you'd be leaning on the wall and you're going to push yourself back and then lower yourself down. So leaning up on the wall, that's working the same muscles. So we're going to be working our pectoral region here of our chest. Or you can do these chest presses. Okay, ready gang? Here's 6 more. Here we go. Back, here's 1. Here's 2. Three. Here's 4. 5. And 6. Oh yeah, feel that one. All right, I'm going to put my hand weights to the side, or my cans of tomatoes. And we are going to do our chair crunches. So our chair crunches are designed, we're going to be working our abdominal core. People often overlook our abdominal muscles here. A lot of people have office jobs and are sitting for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and our abdominal muscles become weak. And then our back muscles start to overcompensate for that. So that's when we start getting back issues. So it's important that we keep our abdominal muscles nice and strong. It's also going to aid us with our posture. It's also going to aid us with our digestion. So it's very important that we keep our abdominal core nice and strong. And a great way that we can do that are through chair crunches. So what I'm going to ask you to do is you're going to sit up towards the end of your chair. You're going to sit up nice and straight. You can have your hands in your lap. You can have your hands across your chest, or you can have your arms out in front of you. I like doing your arms out in front. It kind of prevents my feet from coming up off the ground. It acts as a bit of a counterbalance. So I'm sitting up nice and straight. I'm going to be leaning back to my shoulder blades, touch the top of the chair, and sitting back up. Ready, gang? Here we go. Down and up. Let's breathe out and up. That's 2. Here's 3 and up. 4 and up. It gets harder as we go along here. Here's 5 and up. And 6 and up. All right, now we're just going to stretch our abdominal obliques, just twisting your trunk one side. So you should feel a nice little stretch along the side of your body right there. What we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. Twisting your trunk nice and slow, not too far. It's enough to feel the stretch. We're going to try another 6 repetitions. This will be our second set of 6 repetitions. This time I'm actually going to have my hands on my lap. Here, away we go, leaning back and up. That's 1. Here's 2 and up. 3 and up. 4 and up. 5 and up. Last one. Here's 6 and up. Woo! Yes, definitely feel that in your abdominal core. Guess what? We just finished our strength training. So we did our cardio warm up, we did our cardio cool down, our strength training. You know what comes next. We are going to be working on our balance. So while we're sitting down, how about we try and do just the leaning forward? Everybody can do this one. So you just think of yourself, maybe, you know, how transitioning, while you're on a toilet, or you're getting up out of bed, or getting up off a chair, you're just going to be leaning forward. So I'm going to ask you to rest your body weight on the balls of your feet. That's not your toes, that's this section of your feet right there. Keeping your feet nice and wide. You're going to be leaning forward so that you're going to be resting your body weight. There is some balance involved with this. Holding it there. Go back. We're going to try that again. This is working on our balance. There is balance involved with this. Leaning forward. And back. Last one. Leaning forward. Okay, so from here, oh, whoa, what is that? Kiki, come here. She had something that almost looked like porcupine quill. All right, so from here, we are going to do our one-legged stand. There's 2 ways that you can do this. You can either have your knee out in front of you like this, or you can just have your foot down like this. Whatever's best for you is best for me. We are going to stand on one leg. Again, you're going to see that I'm hanging onto a chair here. It's just going to provide me a little extra support that is nice to have. Balancing on one leg here. It does help to have your arms out to the side. Balancing on one leg. we do to one leg, we're going to do to the other. Again, I have my hand on the chair there to provide me a little bit extra stability. Put your hands out, that does help too. So our brain is processing all this information. It's sending the signals down to our legs, the muscles in our legs, and in our joints. We're going to be making those little micro adjustments to keep you upright. The body does respond well to balance training, so if you can incorporate this into your daily routine once or twice a day, I would encourage you to do that. Other side. This time I'm going to challenge myself a little bit more. I'm going to have one finger on the chair. One finger on the chair. Down. Other side. Knee up. One finger on the chair. Challenging myself a little bit further. Overload principle. Continuously kind of challenge yourself. Now we're going to do one more time each side. This time I'm actually going to take my hand off the chair. If you feel safer having a hand on the chair, by all means, keep your hand on the chair. It is not a competition. I do need you to challenge yourself, but it's not a competition. One foot. Down, other foot. If you need to have a hand on the chair, you can have your hand on the chair. And now we're going to keep our feet nice and wide, and we're going to do some rocking. So we're going to stagger our feet. One foot's going forward. I'll give you a profile shot. So feet are wide, one foot in front of the other. And forward and back. If you need to have your hand on the chair, you can definitely have your hand on the chair. Forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Bringing your feet side by side. Now we're going to stagger our feet the other way. Lean forward. Back. Some dynamic balancing involved here as opposed to static balancing. We're actually moving, so that's why it makes it dynamic. If you're balancing when you're not moving, that makes it a static. Forward and back. Forward and back. All right, so now we're going to finish things off with our Johnny Cash. We are going to walk our line. So we're going to pretend that we have an imaginary line right in front of us. You're going to put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to walk on that line. Nice and slow, very purposeful. If you need to have your hand on the wall, you can do that. You can have your hand on a chair. Okay, now we're going to go back. Here we're going to go forward again. Here we go. Forward and freeze. Holding it there. Static balance involved here. Forward and freeze. Forward. And let's go back all the way. I'm not going to get you to freeze. Good job, gang. So now we are done our balance training. We've done our strength training, our cardio cool down, our cardio and our cardio warm up. Now we're going to work on our flexibility a little bit here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a nice big long chest stretch. So we're going to bring our hands up to the side. You should feel the stretch along the upper part of your chest over here. Hold there. And now we're going to stretch out our triceps. So one hand's going to go down. It's going to grab your elbow. And you're just going to pull your arm in tight to your body like this. So you should feel the stretch along the back side of your arm, upper part of your arm, the tricep region. So you're extending muscles. So anything involved with reaching, maybe putting away glasses in the cupboard, those are your tricep muscles that are really working it. Bring it nice and wide again. Hold that stretch. And reaching out underneath, grabbing your elbow, pulling your arm in tight to your body. Hold that stretch. That feels good. Nice and wide. Okay, from here, we're going to stretch out our neck. We're going to put our chin to our chest. Nice, slow and purposeful. Head in neutral position. Put our ear down to one shoulder. Head in neutral. Ear to the other shoulder. Head to neutral. Now we're going to do a shoulder check. Over one shoulder again. It's very slow, not fast. Go until you feel the stretch. Head to neutral. Shoulder check the other side. Head to neutral. We stretch out our hamstring. We've done a fair bit of lower leg work today. So for our hamstring stretch, I'll give you a profile shot to show you what I'm looking for. Foot goes out like this, sitting up nice and straight. I'm leaning forward. I'm keeping my head held high. I'm leaning forward, continuing to breathe. You should feel the stretch along the upper part and back side of your leg. Leaning forward. That feels good. If any of you have been living with sciatica, piriformis syndrome, you know that this can feel really good. Your chances are your physiotherapist has asked you to do a stretch, a hamstring stretch. Back. Other foot, leaning forward. Oh yeah, that feels good. Oh, feel that. Head held high. Good job, gang. Now we're going to finish things off with our stretching. A bit of a hip stretch here. So there's two ways that we can do the hip stretch. You can cross your leg like this, and then you're just going to pull your leg in closer to your body. You should feel the stretch along the outside of your hip. So that's one way that we can do this. The other way, if you have the flexibility and the range of motion in your hips and in your knees, you bring your knee up like this and you're going to press down on your knee. So you do whatever's best for you. For this leg, I'm going to cross my legs like this. Pressing down on my knee, you should feel the stretch along the outside of your hip. Oh yeah, I can feel that one. What we do to one leg, we're going to do to the other. For this leg, I'm going to cross my legs like this. I'm going to bring my knee in closer. Again, you should feel the stretch along the outside of your hips. Of everything that we're doing, probably the stretching, the flexibility training that we're doing, your body responds most quickly to this. So you'll see improvements, markedly improvements when you're practicing your stretching. Doesn't take long. Feels good. If you have Parkinson's disease too, you know how tight your muscles get. They're really taut. It can be very painful. So stretching them out, holding a stretch for about 30 seconds in duration before changing it up, it'll help alleviate some of the pain. So it helps out with pain management. So if you can spend some time stretching, I would totally encourage you to try and do that at least twice a day. So we are going to finish off with our Parkinson specific exercises here. All right, so let's start off. We're going to do a side cheek stretch. I'm going to ask you to put your palm of your hand along your cheek. You're going to pull your mouth back and up. So you're going to stretch out the little facial muscles that are involved with helping shape your lips. Helps with our speech. Drooling. Stretching one side. Hold it there. What we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. Pulling it back and up. Holding it there. Oh, that feels good. All right, and from here we are going to practice our smile. So we're going to work against that Parkinson mask Let's get a great big smile, as wide as we can. Big smile. Stretching out our face. Now let's drop our jaw. These muscles are involved with chewing our food, so you're going to open your mouth as wide as you can. Let's transition back to a smile. Great big smile, working on that mask, that Parkinson mask. There you go. And opening our mouth as wide as we can again. Okay, now we're going to do the same with our eyes. We're going to people often overlook our little muscles that are controlled with our eyes, but it's important that we we work on them, we strengthen them, and we stretch them. So let's look straight back. Head in a neutral position. We're going to look straight down. Straight down. Now we're going to get our eyes to go that way. And let's get our eyes to go that way. Okay, so now we are going to work on the alphabet. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. All right, so that's it for today. That's it for this week, okay? I'll see you next Tuesday. And again, the live broadcasts are held every Tuesday and Thursday. And that's at 8 o'clock a.m. Central Time. That's 9 a.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock on the Atlantic Coast, and in Saskatchewan and Alberta, it is at 7 o'clock, and in beautiful British Columbia, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. No excuses not to do exercises the first thing in the day, because there's nothing else to do other than exercise. So again, we are looking at less than a month before the Parkinson Canada Super Walk, which is on Saturday, September the 12th. It's a virtual walk this year, so we're still fundraising. We're doing everything the same as normal, except instead of having the large collective gathering, we are asking you to be walking in your neighborhood with family and friends, given the current health pandemic that we are living through. So I hope you had a great class today. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.